All right, it's 9 o'clock, and I'll call to order the September 20th meeting of the Saline County Commission. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Commissioner Shadwick?
Here.
Commissioner Sparks?
Here.
Commissioner Vidrickson?
Here.
Commissioner Weiss?
Here.
Commissioner White?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if we could all stand for a flag salute and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We now move into the citizens' input portion of our meeting. If there's anyone who wishes to speak. Seeing none, we'll move to the consent agenda. The consent agenda consists of approval of public forum agenda as presented, accounts payable, approval of county commission meetings of September 6th, and approval of county commission minutes of September 13th. Any commissioner wish to address the consent agenda?
Move approval.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Now move into our action items. Item number 1.
Road and bridge request to purchase a half-tanker drainage structure, 2022-13.
Good morning, Justin.
Good morning, Commissioners. Well, I'm here today to request the purchase of 3 half-tankers for the Road and Bridge Department. The Road and Bridge we've got 2 stream crossings that require a drainage structure replacement. They're located on Donmeyer Road, quarter mile south of Lapsley Road, and Amos Road, a half a mile south of Waterwell Road. So both of these locations requires drainage structures larger than what a pipe can provide. So therefore, my office is recommending a half tanker from the railroad yard. And so what these structures really consist of is they'll take around a 10-foot diameter railroad tanker. They'll cut the ends of it off and to make it a pipe, and then they'll cut it in half, weld a half-inch plate to the bottom of it, as well as plates to the ends of it for head walls. And so you should have a picture of your packet in there. And I think Darren showed a couple pictures, and it might have been the same pictures from his update here a week or 2 ago. So the maintenance division, they install these structures so we don't have to hire a contractor to do those, and that's really the real benefit, cost savings with these structures. So. But along with these 2 projects that I just mentioned, then I'm also requesting to purchase a 3rd tanker, half tanker, and this would just be placed in our yard for a future project, just in stock. So when we have something come up, it sits there available. So, and these structures are from a single source supplier. There's nobody else that makes these types of products. So, alternatives for action would be to purchase 3 half tankers from the railroad yard. 2 would be to purchase just 2 tankers from the railroad yard, or 3, do not purchase these structures and direct staff according to the wishes of the board. Staff recommends purchasing 3 half tankers from the railroad yard. In your packet, I show that it's a price of $52,470. However, late last week, the supplier contacted me and says they've got new prices, and go figure, it's actually less. Which hasn't happened in quite a while. So the new price for these 3 is $49,950. So you got about a $250 savings there. So I do appreciate that they sent us a new quote for a lower price. So, and the price, this price does include shipping to our yard. I do recommend that the funds to purchase these structures be taken out of the special bridge, which is the 125 or the 2 mil account. And this account has a current balance of just under $2.5 million. Questions?
One question. What is the life expectancy of one of these structures?
Oh, it's hard to say. It's a half-inch steel. The steel isn't coated, with any kind of protective system, like a paint. So our soils are fairly acidic, but I would say it should be pushing 50 years, 40, 50 years, just because of the sheer thickness, the half-inch steel. There's quite a bit of material there.
And just a quick question, the pictures that come with this here, the one I'm looking at here, half of it is kind of a blackish, like a tanker. The other half is kind of bare metal. Is that two pieces welded together?
Yes, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that just kind of Frankenstein together to make these structures. If they've depending on other lengths that they've made for other people, they got some pieces that they just they weld together, and they're cutting things off the sides. Like it says, they're recycling this from a railroad tank or really any kind of a big tank that they can get their hands on.
Okay. And that was kind of my scary thought here, is that if that is the case, then do you have we talk about a half-inch steel. Now, if the whole bottom of this thing is a half-inch steel and it's whole one piece welded to the bottom, that's different than you have two pieces put together with a weld on it. I would think that there isn't going to be quite as strong and last as long, because if there's no coating on it, that weld could deteriorate a little faster than just a full half-inch.
Possible, correct, yeah. And I'm not sure these three here, if that's one thing I don't know, if it's one piece or if it's been a couple tankers welded together. That I don't know. So that was the one, the picture that you're probably looking at is the one we put down on Kip Road, just south of, a couple miles south of K4.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I can't answer your question there, whether it's welded together.
It's a great reuse of a product, though. I'm impressed.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's neat that somebody thought of this. I mean,
Yeah,
pure
yeah.
entrepreneurship.
And it's a big big savings for a lot of people. Where they don't have to have a contract. They do have to have, and it also kind of depends on the length and the amount of extra stuff that they can't cut off. Some of them can get quite heavy, so you've got to have two pretty good sized excavators to lift them. But but really the whole transportation industry, I mean, it's by far we're the biggest recyclers of any industry out there, with all of the road materials and pipes and I mean, you name it, we recycle everything.
I love it.
Justin, for future reference, you might also check into, I'm sure you're aware of the pickup truck bodies that are coated with corrosion-resistant stuff right now. If there's something out there that we could do in-house,
Okay.
might check into it.
Sure.
To help with the abrasion or the, lasting of the tank.
Sure,
I
okay.
don't know that it would work in this case, but it's something you might look at.
Okay, I'll do that.
Any other comments from the commission? Comments or questions from the public? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for possible action.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve the purchase of 3 half tankers from the railroad yard for a total amount of $49,950.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the Road and Bridge request to purchase half-tanker drainage structures 2022-13. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Thank you,
All
Justin.
right, thank you.
Item number 2.
Evergy easement on jail property, 2022-14. Hannah Stambaugh, Deputy County Administrator.
Good morning, Hannah.
Good morning, Commissioners. So shortly after we had acquired the property for the build of the new jail site, our staff was approached by Evergy in their desire to build a new high-power transmission line. And asked about an easement. Originally, it was envisioned that the transmission line would run along Pacific Avenue to the northeastern corner of our jail property, and then south, and then back to the railroad tracks. But after some of their design work was in place, you can see this is what is their proposed proposed transmission line build out. So in order for them to be able to construct this, they have asked for an easement from the county. Our design had already been established for the new jail site. So, and that included light poles. And you can kind of see it, but there's a couple of red dots on there. So when they changed their design, that also required for us to have an encroachment on their property for us to continue to still build our light poles. At this time, our staff is requesting that the commission authorize the chair to sign the easement agreement and the encroachment agreement, as well as the settlement agreement, which provides for Evergy to compensate the county for the loss of this property usage. Evergy is going to provide the county with $36,000 in compensation for the easement, as well as the encroachment agreement, which still allows the county to construct the jail site lighting as we had originally anticipated. And then these particular funds can be used towards other expenses of the jail project. Your alternatives for action are to approve the easement and authorize the chair to sign the documents, or do not approve the easement and direct staff to negotiate an alternative.
One question, is this easement inside the fence or outside the fence?
I believe it's outside the fence.
Questions or comments from the commission?
One of the quick questions is that in this area here that this easement, is there going to be the big metal poles, or what are they using this for?
It's for a high transmission line, a high power transmission line that Evergy is building.
Okay, and looking at this, I've tried to determine, is like, it's not interfering with any of our road concrete work that's being, nothing. So
No, sir.
this all be on outside of that.
Correct. So that's probably something I should have noted too, as far as construction of this high power transmission line isn't expected to occur until 2023. Basically, we plan on moving in the jail in September of 2023. They don't anticipate to start construction until probably October or November of 23, with completion probably not until 2025. So we should have all of our work complete.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments from the commission?
Quick question here is, in looking at this, and apologize because it has nothing to do with this, but it looks like it's coming in from the northeast. Will it be coming in from the northeast?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because I know at one time where, I know that Saline Vortex just had purchased the property just to the east of the jail, and they had concerns about this coming by, but it's not going to be coming through their property at all now.
I don't know the status. I know that there were some discussions with Vortex,
yeah,
but
that's
I
what I
don't know the status of that part of it.
Thank you.
Questions, comments from the public? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission for possible action.
Mr. Chairman, I move we approve by signature the easement, encroachment, and settlement agreements.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We approve Evergy easement on jail property 2022-14. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Now move into our informational items. Item number 1.
Commissioners' comments?
I would say that I attended the military affairs banquet on Saturday night. It's a pretty nice function. I'm glad that we can contribute a little bit of money to that from the county level. It would be nice to see more people there on a long-term basis to support the Military Affairs Council and what they're trying to do here in Saline County. So it was nice.
Last Friday, I attended a zero waste initiative, which is kind of a subcommittee of what the city is doing to reduce waste in the landfill. I actually am not there as a county commissioner, but as a restaurant owner trying to figure out ways to do that. But I thought it was interesting that the city has to do a plan every 5 or 7 years for the EPA that normally the county does, but the county does not own the landfill as most counties do across Kansas. So the city has to put that proposal together. So it's just interesting to see what, the study is done to see what goes into the landfill, and it's amazing how they can break that down into cardboard or what food waste is and everything. So just interesting.
And on Wednesday, I attended the Skeeto meeting. There's still quite a bit happening in Saline County, and I applaud the work of that board. They have a lot on their plate, and it's very dynamic because it's changing all the time. Then on Thursday, I attended the chamber luncheon, where the guest speaker presenter was Lynn Exline with 305, and it was very informative. Enjoyed it quite a bit. Any other comments? Announcements? Seeing none, I see we have an executive session on our.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Staff would request an executive session under the non-elected personnel exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act to discuss a performance evaluation for 10 minutes. I guess it would be a reconvene at 9:26. Also present would be Mayor Lieber, our HR Director, and County Councilor Mike Montoya.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, it's moved second. We move into executive session, discuss performance evaluations for 10 minutes and reconvene at 9:26. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, it's 9:28, and I'll call this meeting back to order. There was no action taken at the executive session. Any other business? Entertain a motion for adjournment.
So, second.
Moved and second that we adjourn this meeting. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried.